Planet Dolan.
From being given an animal heart to unsettling hair compliments, the Planet Dolan crew reenacts some of the best true stories from our subreddit about the creepiest ways people hit on us. I'm Pringle1, and today I'll be your narrator. Number 10 was submitted by MaybeNotWorthless. When Wolfgang was in the 8th grade, he noticed a girl following him around. One day, the girl asked him out. It was awkward because it was the first time she ever spoke to him. Wolfgang said he didn't want to because he didn't know her very well. Upset, the girl walked away. The next day, when Wolfgang got to school, he noticed that the girl was at his locker. She said, "Please." He asked her what she meant, and she said, "Please, will you go out with me?" Once again, Wolfgang said he didn't want to go out with her because he didn't know her very well. "I'll do anything," she told him. "I'll do anything to be with you, even this." The girl took out a knife and stabbed herself in the arm without flinching. She whispered, "I'll do anything." She passed out on the floor, and Wolfgang ran to get a teacher. A few weeks later, the girl came back to school and told him, "I'll still do anything to be with you." The next day, Wolfgang moved to a different school. Good idea, Wolfgang. I would have moved far from her. Number 9 was submitted by IRunOverFatCats. The creepiest way somebody hit on Spinces happened when she was in 7th grade. There was an older boy who always ran after her. One day, he chased her into the girls' bathroom. Spinces sat on the toilet for a while, waiting until the coast was clear. Just when she thought the boy had given up, she heard, "Naughty girl." She looked up and saw him, peeking down at her from the top half of the stall. He grinned, scaring the daylights out of her. Spinces ran out, running so fast that she wanted to puke. When she finally got to her classroom, Spinces was such an exhausted, heaving mess that she couldn't form a sentence that explained why she was late. Years later, she met the boy who always chased her. He told her that he had a big crush on her back then, and then she was very beautiful. Spinces is still creeped out by it. Number 8 was submitted by KikiV17. A while back, Pecan went on a camping trip where there was a theater nearby. One night, she heard that a movie might be playing, so she went by herself. She sat around at the theater for a few minutes before a boy went up to her and said that he was looking for his cat. Pecan helped him search for it, but they couldn't find it anywhere. They sat around and talked before she realized that she needed to get back to her camp. As she went to leave, the boy hugged her, stroking her back and hair in a very unsettling way. He whispered, "I've never had a girlfriend. Guess there's a first time for everything." Freaked out, Pecan shoved him away and ran as fast as she could back to her campsite. Number 7 was submitted by StitchFan626. Years ago, Nixium worked at Disney World where he lived in company-provided housing. One day, his roommate showed him a picture of him posing in a cheetah costume while wearing a skirt, fake breast, and ears on top of a full-face featureless mask. He was also posing in a sexual way. Later, his roommate decided to put the costume on, crawl onto Nixium's bed while he sat on it, and caress him. He said, "Ooh, so tense." Nixium was so weirded out that he couldn't speak. When his roommate wrapped his arms around him, Nixium pried off his arms, flipped him over his back, and slammed him into the ground. After moving to another section soon after, Nixium never saw that freak again. Number 6 was submitted by IceDragonGirl. Gooby was at a McDonald's with her parents one day. Her mom was in the bathroom while her dad was ordering food. She sat at their table playing Pokemon in her Game Boy Advance when she felt something wet on the back of her head. Gooby turned around and saw a man standing behind her. He said, "Your hair tastes good." She didn't know how to respond. Then the man said, "I bet your lady parts taste even better. Let's go." He grabbed her wrist and tried to take her with him, but she screamed and pulled her hand away from him. Her dad heard her screaming and along with a lot of other people tackled the man. They beat the crap out of him while Gooby rushed to her mom who had just come out of the bathroom. Afterwards, the employees gave them free milkshakes. Gooby and her parents changed their order to go and left while the man was being led away in handcuffs. Number 5 was submitted by Dark Prince J2. In high school, there was a goth girl who would always follow Hellbent around. He always thought she was just shy, since she never tried to make conversation with him. One time, the school had a Valentine's Day fair, and the girl gave him a note telling him to meet her during the fair at the tennis court. Thinking she was cute, Hellbent decided to meet her. When he got to the court, she gave him a decorated shoebox. Hellbent opened it, and inside was an animal heart. The girl smiled and said, "I would have given you my heart, so hopefully this is good enough." be my boyfriend? Hellbent just smiled at her and said he would think about it. A few days later, he decided to date her. She turned out to be a great girl who liked to hunt in her spare time, which explained how she got the animal heart. That's creepy. Number 4 was submitted by SheWhoLovesToDraw. Mimi used to work in a store where she frequently encountered interesting people. One day she was hit on by a guy who kept asking her out. She kept turning him down, but he persisted. He finally decided to leave, but not before asking, "Could you give me a lock of your hair? It looks so soft. I bet it would feel good against my hard, throbbing cock." Mimi screamed at him to get the hell out of the store and never to come back. The man told her that he was going to file a complaint against her because she was being such a hoe. Luckily, her manager overheard everything and called the cops on him. A week later, the cops tracked the man down and arrested him. It turned out that he had been arrested a year earlier for cutting off his girlfriend's hair while she slept. Number 3 was submitted by Taco Memes. In 7th grade, Melissa had an 8th grader go up to her and say, "Are you my homework? Cause I want to do you all night." She replied,
Ugh, that was so cheesy. I'm also in the 7th grade, so back the fuck off.
But the guy kept flirting with her, and Melissa kept reminding him that she wasn't interested. One day, she got so annoyed with him that she kicked him in the nuts in front of the entire school. He never talked to her again. Number 2 was submitted by Amber Music Tag. Andy was sitting in class one day when a boy, who she barely talked to, whispered in her ear, "Can I love you?" Confused, she just continued to do her work. He asked again, "Let me love you." Andy asked him what he meant, and he answered, "Just let me love you, I love you." She politely declined, but the boy went on. He said, "But I like buses, I can't tell you all about them." Then he tried to kiss her on the neck. That gave Andy confirmation that that boy was indeed a creep. Number 1 was submitted by RollingSportsss. One night, Paprika was hanging out with her best friend and her boyfriend. They wanted to have some private time to talk about something personal, so Paprika went for a walk. While walking, she tripped and screamed under her breath,
Damn it! Tonight isn't my night!
The man in front of her, who was walking his dog, turned around and said, "Oh, you too pretty. Everything is your night." He checked her out while licking his lips. Paprika tried to take the compliment and end the conversation, but the man began to ask for her name and where she was from. After lying to him about everything, he said, "This is a shame. You smell so good, you making me regret not pounding you tonight." Then, while staring at her, started to rub his pants. Paprika just let out an awkward laugh and ran away. Huge thanks for the folks over on our Planet Dolan subreddit for submitting their stories. We have another question for you. What's a secret romance story you've never told anyone before? Let us know on the Reddit page linked below, and you might be featured in a future countdown. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Take care, everybody. Peace.